gentlemen. Ken, great to see you on the Late Show Live. What's your take on what we've heard? The UAE may be taking a more significant role in this conflict.
Well, the UAE has been taking a more significant role. It hasn't been reported until recently. They had airstrikes against Lavan Island in April. It only was reported a couple of days ago. They have also been meeting with Israeli officials. Both the director of Mossad and the Israeli prime minister reportedly went to the United Arab Emirates. But this report about a unnamed U.S. official telling them to go get them in Lavan Island, I'm sorry. I've seen way too many reports like that in the American fake news to believe it. I would like to see who this unnamed official is, and I don't know anybody at the White House who says go get them to somebody senior in the government of the United Arab Emirates.
Tell us, please, about Lavan Island. It's described as Hidden Pearl Island. Why is it so strategic? What is there?
It's a oil refinery on the island. It is closer to Karg Island than it is to the Strait of Hormuz. This is also why it's a little bit bizarre. The United Arab Emirates has never, to my knowledge, conducted an amphibious landing exercise. To my knowledge, they have never used their special forces in a major operation to conduct an offensive operation to seize and hold territory. This would be really unusual. They have a small land force. By the way, though, the UAE Air Force is the size of Britain's Air Force. They have 150 strike fighters. So let's not underestimate their military capability. But Special Forces is not kind of up there. It would be more likely for them to conduct more airstrikes, which they have already done.
Just talking about looking at the markets, Ken, crude oil up to $105 a barrel now. It was something like 90 last week. Very volatile. It goes up and down. Is there at any point, do you think, and by the way, gas in the US may be nearing towards $5 a gallon. Is there at any point which President Trump will start paying more attention to the markets and to gas prices?
The president has been paying attention to this all along. He's been paying attention to gas prices, to the stock market prices, to relations with Russia, relations with China. He's been paying attention to all of this. He's playing five-dimensional chess. By the way, I'd remind our viewers that in 2014, when the only international crisis was an international referendum in Crimea, which Russia claimed to have won, and then Russia moves into Crimea, oil on the international markets in today's prices was $156 a barrel. So oil prices are actually relatively low, especially given the type of international crisis we are in today.
Yeah, and also President Trump as well, the last couple of days saying that he would axe federal tax on gas, which may or may not be done. I mean, is that a good move from the president to try and ease the pressure on US consumers?
Yeah, I don't know whether he'll do that. That's one of his tools. Several states have done that as well. I don't think this is going to last that long. And the president has said, and I happen to believe it, that once the conflict is over and the Iranian regime is decimated, which is what I think has to be the result of this. It's not just that you have a third level or fourth level of leadership, but they decimate the leadership and they recognize that they've been defeated. And that's what's not happened yet. Okay, let's be clear about this. War is about convincing the enemy that they have lost, and we have not convinced the Iranian regime that they've lost. So we need to go back to kinetic strikes. I think that's what the president is going to do very shortly. And I think those strikes will be brutal. I think they will be sweeping. I think they will have widespread consequences, not just to the regime, but to the Iranian people. And they will be aimed at convincing the Iranian people as well as the regime that there's no way that they can possibly win, that the United States has won the war and it's time to get rid of the regime.
Ken, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, as always.